Danny and Colton are here of Nico.
We've been together for coming up on 10 years. So she said no.
I did.
So who made the first move from there?
He slid the letter in my mailbox and it was like asking me out to dinner.
Did you guys make out on the first date? You guys wrote your first dance. What are the top 3 tips for dating someone who works in the music industry? Danny and Colton are here of Nico, okay? That's who's on the show. Did you guys just get back from your honeymoon in Italy?
We did. We literally fresh off the plane.
We did.
Yeah.
And was it good? What what were we doing on this honeymoon?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I was like making a sad face and I'm like, no, the honeymoon was magical. I'm just sad to be back to reality. Like I'm so sad to just wake up and have normal coffee and not like a cappuccino and a baguette and no, it was magical. We did a lot of exploring, a lot of relaxing, but not enough, we found.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean it wasn't enough relaxing?
So this is the first time, we didn't realize this. We've been together for coming up on 10 years. So it's like, even though we just got married, we've been together for forever. We've never actually taken a trip that was just for like us to relax.
Yes.
Now, that was just us two. Like we've done trips with friends and of course we've done family trips and gone to see family and stuff like that. But like normally when we go places, like especially if we've gone overseas, it's been to work, like to write or do music or something. And so when we were planning it, I was like using our credit card points and like doing all this stuff. And I was like, oh, we're gonna go here. And I was like, oh, we have time to do this. And then when we did it, and by the end of the trip, we were like, I'm so exhausted. We just need to like take a day and just like lay on a beach or something.
We went and saw, which was amazing, but we just like hit a wall the last day or two. And we were like disassociating, talking to each other, and we're like, we're not here.
Yeah.
But it was amazing.
It was still amazing.
There were too many activities though. That was the problem. There were too many activities planned on the honeymoon. But we're not sick of each other. We didn't get married and go on the honeymoon and then realize, oh my God, what have I done?
We're like,
that wasn't the problem. The problem was we were overly scheduled in Italy.
Yeah, I still loved it.
It was amazing. It was so fun.
Now you need another vacation from the vacation. And was the food good?
Oh my God. Yeah. So
don't talk about it.
We're such like foodie / like full on fat kids, like in our souls. We just were eating every couple hours. We would just stop and have pasta or bread or cheese. Like it was just amazing.
Yeah, it's so funny when we were thinking about it. We're like, what did we do? We were like, we ate and walked around.
We just kept eating and walking.
What was the most romantic moment of the honeymoon? Like, did one of you do something that was like really romantic?
Oh, that's a great question. We booked a like couple. This was relaxing. Yes. One of the hotels that we were supposed to stay at, I ended up having to cancel. It's a long story. It was going to be more traveling craziness. And this was like halfway through the trip. So I booked a different hotel and we booked like a spa like thing. And that was cool. I don't know. Was that the most relaxing?
I know. I'm sounding like we're terrible married people because we're like, what did we do that was
the most romantic?
We did like a boat day and we got to see
that was awesome.
Like the Amalfi Coast. And I think there were a few moments where we were just like in awe, like looking at this and like holy.
Or our hotel, like the dinner with like the view, like the one that was looking over the Bay of Naples.
There was a lot of
It was all good. Italy.
It was all.
Do you think there were other couples that were looking at you guys and were like, thought you guys were so cute? Like, do you think there were other couples who saw you guys at dinner and were like, oh my God, look at them. I bet they're on their honeymoon. Do you think anyone said that?
So there were so many couples on their honeymoon and we actually ended up
really.
Like
we met so many friends that were honeymooners, which was like, not what we expected.
We like spent multiple hours with like 4 different couples who were also on their honeymoon, like just like walking around and hanging out, which is so weird.
It's so weird, but it's so like fun.
Yeah, it was fun and random, but it's like you're supposed to go on your honeymoon and be together, and of course we
found friends
and was like hanging out and but it was cool.
No, that's fair. Wait, so how did you guys meet? Because you guys met like a decade ago, and we have to talk about this song. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the song. We're gonna talk about it for me. But how did you guys first meet?
So we actually met in Nashville, which we know that's where you live. We met at Belmont.
That's still true. You still live in Nashville?
Yeah, but I don't like people to know that. We'll cut that part out. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Who cares? Yeah. I'm in Nashville right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
In Nashville, we lived there first, actually. And we went to Belmont, like all kids who sing in the
Southeast. Don't know where to go.
So we met actually the first week of school. It was like a singing class and we both volunteered to sing. And then afterwards I DM'd her and I was like, yo, you sound like Mariah Carey. We should do a duet.
I don't at all.
Wait, you really DM'd her? Because why? Did you think she was hot? Why'd you DM her?
Yeah, I just like
He slid in. He's
yeah,
one
I
of his
did. And
friends.
I like love like girls who can sing. And back then, okay, so it was my freshman year of college. And so in high school, it was like, there's not that many girls who like do music. But then I got to Belmont and it was like, oh my gosh, all these
It
girls
was just
singing and stuff. Yeah.
it was just his dream.
And
He
then
was
like,
like,
I don't know, she was like also very I mean, you can tell just from like meeting her, she has like a presence about her that's very sweet and kind and like I don't know how to explain it, like inviting and very, well, I don't know, just different than a lot of the other people at Belmont.
I paid him to say this.
The other girls whose DMs he slid into rejected him. So this
They
was
just didn't see it.
Well, no,
they
so
just didn't see it. That was really the no, I'm kidding.
I was
Okay.
just on social media too much.
no, the thing is, she actually rejected me too. She said no
I did.
to singing a
unfortunately.
duet, and then we just kind of knew each other for like 2 years.
Yes.
And then our junior year, we were at a party, and I overheard her talking about how she just broke up with her boyfriend, and she was sad. But I was like, oh, I might go talk to her. And then she also was saying she writes like pop and R&B music, and I was like, oh, I overheard you saying you write pop and R&B, and I mean, in Nashville, especially then, it was like not as common to write.
Very country
Not
centric.
country, yeah. And I was like, we should write together. Like, we should get together and write. And she's like, okay, cool. So we got together to write and we just talked for like 6 hours. And then after that, we just started hanging out and we started dating.
Wait, so who made the first move from there after you started hanging out?
Oh, he pursued me quite
Yeah,
hard, yes.
I very much like had my mindset on it, and I had help from our friends. Like one of our mutual friends, I was like, "Yo, like I really like Danny," and he was like, oh, "Okay, cool. Like let me help." And like it was this whole like months of
What did
orchestrating.
he do? Did he help?
He helped by telling me like things she liked and didn't like.
Yes.
Like one thing was he was like, "She said she likes you. She doesn't know if you're serious enough." So then
He
Belmont,
was so savage that I was saying that at like 18.
Serious enough as a person or serious about dating her?
I'm serious
Serious as a
as a
person.
person. I wanted to know, like he's the funniest person I've ever met.
I'm
And
pretty unserious.
that side, I knew I could laugh forever, but I was just like, I want to date someone that I also know I can go through like some shit with. Like, I
Yeah.
want to see your serious side.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, I got you. So Belmont has like, I don't know if it's called like a music business conference or what, something like that. They probably put on a ton of those, but there was one coming up and I like got us tickets, which was free because we were students. And then I was like, yo, do you want to go with me to this? And she was like, sure. And then I picked her up, and by picked her up, I mean, I walked to her dorm and I was wearing like a suit,
He wore a full suit
like looking a hot ass mess.
and took notes at this conference.
Yeah, I
all
brought a
day.
binder.
It was you
Yeah.
had to Colton, you had to prove that you could be a serious guy, that
Bro.
you could show up
Yeah.
and take notes, that you
Yeah.
could learn something, that you were taking your career seriously.
Yeah, legitimately.
And he showed me, and I said,
Yeah. It was pretty
That was
lit.
all it took, though, Danny.
No, I'm like,
just
I'm
a
so
fucking
easy.
notebook and some notes,
Yeah.
and that was all it took for you. Oh, this guy's serious.
I
That's what happened. What?
No, it was
It
hysterical.
was the suit. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
he owns a suit. This is real business.
Was he
Yeah.
the only one in a suit though at the event?
Probably, honestly. I don't know. Belmont kids would
They're pretty
they'd roll
dirty,
up.
like,
They'd roll up in some like preppy attire.
yeah,
Yeah. So I wasn't too out of place, but it definitely was silly.
it was dramatic, which
Yeah.
is very Colton. Now,
Wait,
I
so
didn't
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, but then what was the move after that? Then
After
Danny
that-
goes, okay, maybe this is a serious guy. And then
Yeah.
after that, then what happened?
We hadn't had our first date yet, right? I don't think
No.
So she had been talking about, oh, I wish people wrote letters and like all this
I
stuff.
always tell this story so bad. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
you
love you
tell
so
it. You
much.
tell it.
We were walking around Belmont as what couples do because there's nothing to do, and we're like not
Well,
old
we weren't
enough
a
to drink.
couple, yeah, we were just hanging out.
Just friends walking around campus, and I was like reminiscing as romantic girls do, and I was like, gosh, I just watched this movie where the girl got letters. I wish we wrote more letters still. Like, I think it's such a romantic gesture. Whatever. My mom came in town for a show that we had going on, and I think he timed this for mom to be in town.
Actually didn't. I didn't even think about that.
I have extra brownie points either way, but he wrote me a letter, and he worked at the mail center
Yeah, I
at
used
our
to work at the
school.
mail center at Belmont. Yeah.
So he slid the letter in my mailbox, and it was like asking me out to dinner and wishing me good luck on the show. And it was, I mean, I was just toast. I was like, oh my God, I'll marry him tomorrow.
I didn't know about, what is it, the love languages
Yes.
back then, but she's words of affirmation. So I didn't even know, but that's really what got me in there.
Yes.
That's what did it. And then you went on your first date.
Yeah. Then we went on
And,
our first date, and then we started dating like a couple months after that.
Yeah.
Did you guys make out on the first date?
No.
No,
Oh my
Really?
our,
Why not?
our first kiss was I was so nervous.
No.
that I like almost broke her nose.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we haven't talked about this in forever. Like
it was like a little bit of an assault, like the first kiss. So I love Colton so much, but his experience was not as much as mine dating. So I like could feel his nerves on every date.
Yeah. For the first couple of dates, my stomach would make loud rumbly noises, like
Not like normal,
like yeah.
Oh God, Colton.
She'd be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." Yeah,
so it was like actually
Oh
like
my God.
in
yeah,
places. We were like, we shouldn't be here. Like you're gonna
yeah. It was really embarrassing. So I just was really, really, really nervous, but I was trying very, very, very hard, which is hilarious. But yeah, first kiss was hilarious. You know how when you have your seatbelt on and it stops you?
Yeah.
It's like that kind of like that's how fast I moved.
But he wasn't in a seatbelt, it was
Like-
just in person.
Wait, but how many dates in before you guys kissed?
I think it was a
don't remember.
I don't remember either, actually, now that which, yeah, we're just so classy.
Was
But
that
you gotta
the-
play hard to get. You can't kiss on the first date. Is that the takeaway for? Is
Yeah.
that the advice? If you want to make
No.
it 10 years and get married and go on a honeymoon, don't be kissing on the first date.
You have to make them work for it. If you give it up easily, then it's yeah, there's so much psychology to that, and I hate it, but it's true. I had to let him know I was a classy gal. I had to fake it.
Yeah. Okay. But the point is, here we are. Okay, it's a decade later. When was the wedding? The wedding was like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
September 6th. So now
Well,
a month
ago.
a month.
Oh,
today.
It's a month ago. Okay,
month
so
ago.
whose idea? How does this song "It For Me" come together? Because this was like all over my TikTok.
Oh,
Basically,
so sorry.
you guys wrote your first dance song because I don't know because you couldn't find a great song to do your
Yeah.
first dance to.
yeah.
So how do you come up with this idea? Because it's a great idea.
So
Thank
yes,
you for saying
thank
that.
you for saying it. Yeah, to start, we basically like had the music that we were making before this like last year was a little bit different. Like we like I don't know, it was more like poppy, more like more music you can dance to and stuff. And then like as we got engaged and stuff, we just really started to lean into like our love story because we were like, this is like honest to us. We should lean in more.
And we were in wedding planning mode, which is very romantic and that world.
So we just started writing a bunch of songs that were like that and started putting them out, like the ones that we really loved. And so we had been thinking about writing our first dance song, and a couple of songs we teased, being like, "Oh, this could be our first dance song," just to like see like what people's reaction and stuff was. But then when it came time to actually like do it for the wedding, like pick the song, we kind of felt like it'd be too like egocentric almost to like
Yeah.
use one
What
of our
songs were you thinking about?
some of the other ones that we have written, and then also I don't know, you can
I was really stressing about it because obviously I want that to be a really important part of our wedding day. Like we're musicians. I like music is everything to us. I made a little playlist. I'm trying to think. The top one, the most recent one before we wrote one was Wild Love by James Bay, the acoustic version.
Yeah.
I like listened to it in my car one day and was like got teary-eyed, and I was like, if a song moves me, I get chills or I cry, and I feel like it's a special one. So I was like, oh, okay.
And before that, we had thought about the Cautious Clay song, right?
Yes.
Freaking
Wildfire. Anyway,
we love
random,
fire. Yeah.
yeah, some love, beautiful songs, but they weren't like it was like great, but it wasn't perfect.
It wasn't connected to us. That was
Yes.
what was so hard, is because like music is so much part of our life and our relationship and everything we do. It's like the song needed to connect to us, but then like we couldn't do the first song. The first song we ever duetted was Thinking Out Loud.
Oh
by
my God.
Ed Sheeran. We did like a mashup of that and Let's Get It On, which everyone did at the time.
Yeah.
And like that would have just felt too cliche because everyone uses that song. So I don't know. We just like we're really having a hard time. And I don't remember, was it your idea to just do the like write the verses?
It was, and I came to him and I was like, I feel like this is crazy, but just like hang on till the end of the idea. What if we have this hook and then we basically write, originally we were going to write like our vows to each other as the verses, like let them be very promising. Like I promise this, and I promise this.
Because we weren't going to say our vows at our wedding, but then
publicly.
Then we got some pushback from family and we were like, okay, I guess.
My mom was outraged. It was like,
why would you not say your vows at the wedding?
We just were like, we want something to be private.
Yeah.
That was it. Honestly, it's dumb. Like looking back at the day, I'm so glad.
I'm glad we did it.
We shared
I'm really
that.
glad we did it. But at first we were like, we just want something that's just for us. And so this was like a good like in between, honestly. It was like at that time we weren't going to do vows publicly, and we were like, but this is like something that's personal to us, but also it's like a way for us to profess our love in front of each other. Or like to each other. And then we kind of shifted, but then we had the idea for the song and then didn't actually do it. And then we were in a session and the chorus like melody and like kind of idea Danny had, and so she brought it into our session with our two friends, and in the middle of writing it, I was texting her and I was like, wait,
He was
we can't start the verse. Like, we can't start the verse. And I was like, this would be a good song for this because it just like, I don't know, like just the hook of it all. It's like the simplicity of like, I think you're it for me.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I feel like this is something that we could like, like really say.
Mhm.
So yeah, so then we just we told them. I was like, Danny's like, Colton's texting me, wait guys. And so I was like, okay, before we write verses, we had this idea. We explained to them exactly what we explained to you. And they were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Like,
thank
so
God
great.
they loved it because we could have
Yeah.
had co-writers that were like, no, like
Yeah.
that's, I don't know. You just never know. You want to be respectful of people's time.
And then yeah, so we had the chorus and we had a little bit of the pre done,
Mhm.
which we ended up using the same pre.
So we kicked Colton out. I wrote mine.
Yeah.
We switched. I went home. It was honestly like it was very quick.
Yeah.
Because a way that I write a lot, and Colton does too, but I'm like kind of weird about this. I will just like do gibberish, which a lot of writers do. And I basically had a verse pre-chorus melody, and the chorus I had it for me. I loved that being the hook. And it was so cool because our co-writers basically came in and helped us fill in exactly my melodies. Like we basically just put words to the melodies that I had
And then tweak the chorus.
and then tweak the chorus. But it was they liked the flow of what it sounded like, which the voice memo from or to the like the final version is the closest we've ever had. It's like so cool to listen.
I know. I listened to it the other day because I was like, I want to hear like what her original, like what your original melodies and
so
stuff were. And
simple.
I was like, holy shit. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then for me, I just went home and like, wow, because they started. So I went home and wrote my verses, and then came in and I was like, yeah, what do you guys think? And they like, I had two different versions, and the co-writers were like, oh, you gotta like go with this version, which is really cool because my version started with something in me took a deep breath, and I didn't know because obviously because I hadn't heard hers, but hers was talked about like
Had to catch my
had
breath.
to catch my breath, and it was I don't know, it was like
Weird parallels. Yeah.
cool parallel that we were like on the same like wavelength about, which is really cool.
Sorry, we just talked for 30,000 seconds. I don't
No,
even
thank
remember.
God that this song worked because it could have been horrible.
Oh yeah, it definitely could have been a shit show for
Awful.
sure. And we like hadn't heard it, which was like nerve-wracking. So like our producer and our manager were like they were doing the mix notes and doing all the stuff, and we
Dude, we were stressed.
we don't normally like we've never ever like given control to anyone else like that.
No, I think that's partly why my legs stopped working. Like in one of the videos, I think I said, like, I was so nervous because I'm like, first of all, what if we do this egocentric thing and then it has the nerve to not be good? I would die. Like, that would be the worst. I mean, no, I couldn't. And thank God it went over well. Like,
Yeah.
people at the
And I'm
wedding.
glad, even if it had turned out bad per se, and like even if we never put the video on, like,
Oh
I'm
my
really
God.
glad about like it just felt very emotional and like it was I don't know, it was
No, it's
cool.
special to us.
It was
Yeah.
very special, and like I'm glad that we got to share that with all those people, like our closest friends and family with us. Like,
Yes.
it was cool. Yeah.
No, I think it's great. What was the deal with this gas station? Did you really drive to a gas station?
There's a
I'm
gas
assuming, right? What was the deal with the gas station?
It was after leaving his house, so literally the exact lyric. And it sounds so cheesy speaking it, not singing it, but I remember driving and I almost had called my sister because I was like, something feels so different. And it almost felt like a panic attack a little bit, but in a good romantic way. Like I was like, wait, I can't get on top of this feeling. It's kind of like overwhelming me. So I pulled over and I had to get gas. So it was good timing. But I like remember standing outside of my car being like, holy shit, like, something's changed. This is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that tiger on the corner of Wedgwood and 8th.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
if it's still there, I hope.
Oh yeah, it might be gone. I don't know, but it's funny because we were talking about that afterwards. Like exactly, you said first date, first dinner at your place, and that wasn't actually our first date.
No, it was supposed to be first date, first dinner. Like it was a
Yeah, because
collection.
someone commented and they were like, first date is a dinner at his place? Hell no, or something like that. I'm like, oh yeah, that would be creepy. But it was the first time I cooked her dinner,
Yes.
and we were cracking up about it because I was like, that's what you remember? It was awful.
Terrible.
First
Oh
of
my
all, I
God.
like can't cook now, but I'm much better than I was then. But like then, I made her some soggy ass pasta, some damn frozen meatballs, and like spaghetti sauce, and then frozen broccoli.
It was really
And I heated it all up, and it was just like a bowl of mush. And I don't know why, like I was so bold.
and that's what did
Like
it.
literally so bold. Like, okay, like, oh, served you up. And I like thought I like did it. I think it maybe had a candle lit or something.
Mhm.
That's what did it. It wasn't the notebook and the suit. It was the frozen meatballs and the soggy pasta, overcooked pasta.
The marriage material, it was the soggy pasta for
No,
sure.
I get it. That makes a lot of sense. Look, the song is great. It's out now. It was all over my TikTok. I was seeing this like video popping up of you guys dancing, and then you were listening to it like against a green screen or something. I don't know, it's such a cool idea. Okay, so now you guys, the song's on Spotify. Are you guys on the road or what's happening? Like, are you guys gonna be touring?
So we're playing. So we've been trying to like for this year figure out like going and like actually playing shows out in the world because we haven't really played outside of like Nashville and LA, especially after since COVID. So we're going to Chicago October 20th, playing at Shuba's, and then we're waiting to hear back about potentially opening up for another artist, which we won't know until later today.
We just got the email this morning, actually, which is so weird. Which is truly our dream, and thank you for like also complimenting the song. Thank you so much.
So much. That's
the dream is to now go take these songs that we love so much, obviously play them around. But an artist's greatest fear is like, especially in today's day and age with social media, it's so hard to know what that transfer rate is going to be of like followers to ticket sales. So, it's just a big risk, but everyone does it. Our manager's been incredible of like, you guys just got to bite the bullet and like, you just got to go.
Get out there. Yeah. So we're definitely trying to do that. But yeah, if we get this string of shows, it'll be a string of shows in November. And then if not, we're still planning on stuff for next year. But yeah, we're definitely trying to get out there and just play because when we lived in Nashville, we loved like playing live. We played all the time. And LA is just like a different. I know you've played LA too. It's very different, like than Nashville. Like it's not as I don't know. It's not as fun.
It's different, yeah.
It's just different.
Are you guys antsy to play shows though and like play live, or are you guys like maybe more happy being in the studio and just recording?
We love
already.
Yeah. We used to say that live was like our like first and foremost thing, which is so funny because now we've like been so internet heavy for the last couple of years.
The whole world has.
The whole world has, yeah. But we love that's why we do music. Like going to a concert and hearing a bunch of people. Obviously, this hasn't happened with us yet. But like going to another another
person that has hits.
Yeah, and hearing like a whole crowd, like seeing strangers be united by music is like the coolest thing on earth. Like, that is like I don't know.
That's why we want to do it for the rest of our lives.
So are you gonna do it full band or like these shows coming up? Like, are you gonna have a full band or are you gonna be what? It's just gonna be you two.
Yeah, us and tracks and a piano. Our producer comes and plays with us a lot. But yeah, hopefully the goal is that we'll work toward having just like it'll mostly be like more like drum, like not even a full kit, like drum kit and either a guitar player or piano player and tracks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nashville.
All right. I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out for the shows.
Oh.
Nico on the podcast. They've got their new song, It For Me, out now on Spotify. Go follow them on Instagram at ni/co. Go watch their YouTube. These guys are YouTubers. Like, and I mean that in a good way. Like they're all like their videos, their covers are great on YouTube.
Oh, thank you so much.
They're everywhere. Like what else do we need? Like what's been unsaid? Like what have we not covered here?
Yeah,
no, you did amazing. Also, sorry, we are talkers. I always feel so bad when we do podcasts because you have to
What are you talking about?
Signal. We will just sit and gab for 30 minutes. So
what do you think I want? Do you think I want you to not talk? What are you talking about? That's
I feel like we're just like old ladies sitting here. We're like, and another thing.
No, what are you talking about?
Okay.
The opposite is bad. Like when someone comes on and doesn't talk, that's what's horrible.
When you panic.
You're supposed to talk on the podcast. That's ridiculous.
Amazing. Perfect.
Yeah. Guys, what are the top 3 tips for dating someone who works in the music industry? Okay. For dating someone who works in the same industry as you, and in this case, the music industry, what are the top 3 tips to make it work? Okay. This is the clip that's going to go viral on social media. So choose the answer very carefully. Okay. What do we think? What do we think are the tips here?
Number 1, don't. Just kidding. I'm totally joking. I'm absolutely so joking. The first tip that popped in my mind is separation of romance and work is vital. It will kill the relationship. It will kill the workflow. We literally schedule in time to like go on dates and we schedule in time to like not think about work. because we still struggle with it. We're not perfect at it at all. And it honestly like brings strife in our romantic relationship because we're like, we become business partners only instead of husband and wife now.
Right.
And that's something you have to separate.
Yeah.
People are not meant to spend this much time together. So if you're not intentional about it, it will crumble.
Yeah. Yeah. Having like your own hobbies and stuff.
Yeah. Individuality. That was only one.
That's only one.
I feel like
yeah, give me another one, Colton.
a second tip would be if you're not like in a band with your significant other and you're just like, it's a different role, just make sure that your egos align.
Oh my God.
Because I feel like neither one of us are big like ego people. Like we're not the type of person to be like, I'm the best and I'm the like, we're just not like that.
No.
And I feel like that like I could never be with someone like that. And I feel like two people like that is always a recipe for disaster. And unfortunately, when you're in entertainment, you kind of have to have like a little bit of that. So that everybody they got some people that's gonna be like that. So just watch out.
It's a hard balance. Yeah.
That's my problem. My ego is way too big. That's why it's not working.
You seem like that. You give
That's why I know. That's why it's not working. Okay. So the takeaway here is you need to separate the business from the personal. You need to schedule time to be personal and schedule time for the business.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You need to be sure that the person you're dating, this is tip number 2, doesn't have a big ego. Or if they do have a big ego, to make sure that you also have a big ego so the egos are matched.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the second tip. And give me one more tip. There's got to be one more tip to making this work. What's the third tip?
The third tip, the one that we don't have, is somebody need to be rich because like this shit is not cheap. And
that's always a good. Always marry someone who has a wealthy family.
Yeah.
That's always good advice.
Yeah,
that's if you can find it. That's always good advice.
Yeah,
always. Yeah, because two people broke trying to be in this industry. You know.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's much more fun to be rich.
It would be
doing
so fun to be. Wow. We could just.
That is such good advice.
Thank you.
I get it. Colton and Danny on the show. Guys, great to see you. Good luck in LA. Good luck with these shows.
So much.
Thank you so much. You're so awesome.
Everyone's got to check them out. Go check them out. Listen to the song. Listen to the song on Spotify. It's everywhere. I think if I missed anything. No, I think we've said it all. It for me.
It for me. Yeah.
It's
Dude,
cute.
thank you so much.
Someone else could dance to the song at their wedding. This could be someone else's first wedding song.
Yeah.
It's the highest compliment in the world.
Really,
it could happen. It could happen.
Gosh.
I don't know. All right, guys. It's great to see you both. Enjoy just, I don't know, being married, and you guys are so hot together. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
You guys are so cute. I don't even know what's going on. I can't even take it. We're done. That's it. Cut. Nico. Great to see you guys.